Welcome to your Monday, July 27th Power Hour meeting with Katelyn, Carly, and Claire. Coffee just came in fresh, hot, distracted. And just that's her get a coffee singer.
You get me one.
Friend's taking care of you. If you come in person, there is coffee. I'm good. I'll have my coffee after.
Part one.
I'll do an after meeting coffee. There's also snacks here for those online. So just tease you some more. The snacks are available after the meeting usually, but there is fresh coffee. Pizza? Oh my gosh, you're really, this is gonna be like a lineup now. How was the weekend? Anyone run open houses? I forgot to call you out in what's up, but yes. Did you run your own or you found someone?
No,
You ended up doing yourself Saturday? Okay, and then Michael again Sunday? And what was the volume like this weekend compared to last weekend?
Last weekend was better. Up from the 70.
Still not bad for a second week. Yeah, okay. Okay. How has showing activity been?
Yep.
Okay.
Are you holding back? Oh, sorry. Are you doing offer day? No.
No.
That's called for 2 weekends in a row.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Weekends in a row.
Yeah.
And this is Mississauga. What? Aaron Mills, remind me the price. 1.2. That's a decent price.
No, I think everybody's seeing the public price. 1,560,000.
Yeah.
Oh, they're getting a discount.
Let's get a discount.
We got a 2026 discount.
Because April 20.
Buyers love that. I love when people fail. We're getting a deal.
That's a big discount. Yeah. I saw a good, I think it was a Instagram reel. Did you see? I posted in our stories about some agent saying buyers are gonna, or 2026 is the year that buyers are gonna regret not doing something because there's such a big discount, and they're just saying that buyers that aren't making a move right now are gonna look back on this year and be like, "Damn, I really should have bought something."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Best time to buy.
this is a good example. Like you're getting a $300,000 discount.
Yeah. Best time to buy real estate was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think that's true now. It wasn't for a while.
Now we can confidently say, I think it's good.
Yeah. Anyone else? I think, John, you were nodding for open house or? Okay. One agent, 4 people. Was that bad?
Where was the listing?
Okay.
It's onboarding.
Near Costco?
Near Costco? Not near Costco.
That is near Costco.
You've got a buyer. Okay. Okay. Anyone trying like weeknight open houses? I know some people have been trying that instead of the weekend. We heard success last week about it.
Who did that? Alex did that? And
Alex did try.
I did it
I know
for
Aiden
Sanders.
did one as well on like a Monday afternoon. So I think there's some merit in just trying different times, especially if you've got the time. I'm going to go over a bit of like an agent scorecard later. And I think either running an open house or being in houses is part of what keeps you active, right? So it's good that you agree something.
Yes.
Conditional versus unconditional
For as a buyer or a seller?
yeah.
sell it.
Oh, I see. Yes. Okay, so you want to talk about tales from the street then? The
That's
open houses
the real
that-
question.
So we're probing because the first question is not the real question. Sanex wants us to do a survey of conditional versus unconditional from the point of view of a seller. So the situation is, you're selling a home, you get one offer, let's call it 1.2 conditional. Otherwise, terms are okay. And you get another offer, 1.15 firm. What do you advise your seller? That's the real question?
But I'm not going to 1.1.
Oh, we're doing hypotheticals. What would you guys advise your seller? You take a firm for less or a conditional for more?
Depends on how much less.
Yeah.
Depends on how much.
I think we've had this discussion.
Not 50 less. So in my example, the 50 grand is still kind of too much. Yeah. Okay. What if you get up to 1.18? Yeah, firm?
Yeah.
Take it and run firm. What if you got 1.188?
Definitely.
Okay, good. So Santa was trying to validate a decision that he already made, so it was too late whether you wanted to change your mind, but you made the right conclusion. Yeah.
What was the difference between the two offers?
12 grand.
12 grand?
12 grand firm versus conditional.
Yeah.
12 grand on a property has no mortgage, original owners, they're going to buy their next property in cash. You don't know what could happen at an inspection, financing, any
Inspections have been
condition.
crazy.
Any condition is a way out right now, and buyers are very sensitive, right? So the 1.2 sounds great. Why not pocket 12,000? It's your retirement. But the headache of the 5 days of going through the pain of either of those conditions was.
And I'm noticing on most conditions, people are coming back on them.
Oh,
like it's almost
Guaranteed.
rare to not have a buyer come back on an inspection asking for more fixes.
Yeah, either repair, money, and like really nitpicky. Like even we're nitpicky right now with our buyer.
I haven't been paying attention to that. You Nelson, you been paying attention to that? Is that happening, or are people trying to renegotiate on the inspections?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
It is a thing, huh?
Yeah, they're all valid. Yeah.
Yeah. They're valid. It's just things that people weren't asking to be fixed before are now being asked to fix, like faucets and like
light bulbs,
caulking or the window,
water
little
flow.
things.
Yeah.
The big things,
Like
mold.
it was a strategy. One time there was a strategy years ago. And that was the strategy. The strategy was we'll get the property, do the home inspection, but we're going to do a reduction. That was like
And I know some
guaranteed.
agents do that as their strategy.
that was their whole strategy.
Yeah.
Let's get the place and then we'll discount it after the inspection, huh?
Yeah. So I think firm offers. Good thing.
This particular property here, somebody told me that the property that we're talking about here was also a little tired. So likely the inspection would bring up something.
But I have a lot of memories of it.
I had a lot of memories in it for the seller, not for the buyer.
The memories are not uncovered by an inspection.
That was actually one of the coaching topics. Speaking of inspections, we just watched one coaching session before this, and the listing agent has like a 14-day listing system, and in part of his system is to get a home inspection for the sellers. I always find this is like such a debate on whether you shouldn't. The reason they do it is because they like the buyers to come in and know every single thing that's wrong with the house, or even the sellers can prepare for things that they may come across as well if the buyers do decide to do an inspection. But do you guys have I have thoughts on pre-listing inspections. Are you guys doing them, seeing them?
If it is there, it
It helps with the buyer?
Yeah, with the yesterday I did one thing. The buyer came from another. They were with another broker ticket. I lost 16th in a row in the range of 1.3. Every time 30 is 30. So yesterday we did it from gave the full asking price. They were saying something we'll use 30-40 there. I said our experience is.
This is the same one you've been talking about before? Okay, good.
Ultimately it was done.
Because they had a pre-inspection.
They did a pre-inspection?
No, they had one on the property they bought. That's interesting. That's all they needed?
So as a buyer's agent, you guys like to see it, obviously.
Listing agent was very sound in terms of how they knew the people, let they go, let pay, but not pay. Here, what, how much gold you pay, material, you are very
And your clients like that. They like the detail. So another way, if they didn't have a pre-inspection, you could also do your own inspection before an offer. So for clients like that are very analytical and very detailed, that you're losing all the time, maybe they do their own inspection.
Yeah. But as a listing agent, I'm still on the fence about it. Only reason being, like, what if you guys do a home inspection, the buyers rely on the seller's home inspection, something gets found that was missed on it.
Yeah.
Is that leading your sellers into some trouble? I don't know. That's my only fear against them.
Yeah.
Their point was they like to do it to disclose, and then if the buyers do a home inspection, and let's say there was mold, and then they also saw mold on there, that just kind of reconfirms that they were correct, and it just adds a peace of mind. So it could go either way, but I get a fear of it.
And you look at the property where you did the property fully upgraded. It's not something upgraded, just fitting they said, but the type of furniture and the work they have done, you do get that fee. You can't see just foundation in terms of the crack and mold. Otherwise, all parameters are okay.
Yeah. If you guys had a free inspection as a buyer's agent, would you still do an inspection? If you can, or would you rely on it?
Sometimes buyer do not agree on that one.
So they want to do their own.
It depends on the buyer. Buyer's on.
I think it depends on who does the inspection too.
Oh, of course not. No. We were saying, I think a few weeks back, like maybe in the beaches, it would make more sense where
So
there's
there's certain-
termites
Very
and stuff
common.
like that.
There's certain areas there of the city that's it's expected to have
Otter
pre-inspection.
tube.
And that would be the beaches area, and in a
East
particular area,
Denver.
Life area.
yeah, you want to do a we don't talk about termites very much here. I mean, if you've been around a long time, we know. But if you're selling anything in the beaches, you got to have a special termite inspection done separate from the home inspection. No, they do.
If they
you,
find it.
no. If you get
I did
properties,
one
you get
over
properties
there.
in East York. If you've got,
Literally just walked around.
Look for bugs.
For specific termite or
I'm sure he did.
but even like knob and tube, like there's a lot of that out in the East End. Like there's some cities that have some stuff. Maybe some Victorian homes.
I think it's common for Scarborough, Durham to just do an inspection with the offer.
I'm just curious. So if you did a home inspection, you hire a home inspector yourself. The buyer hire a home inspector, and you miss something. What's home inspector's liability?
I think they're covered under insurance, but I don't really know what would happen. Like you're meaning
They're
if the
not.
buyers can sue the
Yeah, no, there's no
inspector?
insurance for home inspections.
I think home inspectors have their own insurance though. For
Okay,
things like
my understanding is that the guarantees that refund your $500 inspection fee.
Perfect.
That's all you get. Yeah.
Give
So,
that.
so I'm thinking that if you did a pre-inspection and you did your home inspection and there's something wrong, it's the same situation. You're going to get your $500 back. Yeah. So. I don't know.
They have a specification item.
Mhm.
Home inspector, visual.
Although,
Don't sue me.
Yeah, the liability is their $500. They're not taking any other liability because what they say, they can't open up walls. They can't they can't
it's only
dig
so
deep.
much. Yeah.
They
Can't
can't
hop
do
on a roof.
destructive. They can't destroy things to be able to look behind things.
Yeah,
So.
They're gonna scan it, but it's that's all the.
Yeah.
But the issue is about.
Yeah, if they can't see it, how can they be responsible for it, right?
Was there.
And it's
Great. So as a debate on inspections.
I say not bad, but not a good experience. Buyers ask me, Pandit, how can you help me finance? I said, I will pay by the home. I asked her, do you have the home inspectors? He said, no. You have a team, fully bring you. We did the home inspection. Property closed. After condo, fully done condo. Small issue came, he had to pay $200-$300. He said, you manage the home inspection. Because
That's a good point.
that was your home inspector. I said, but I ask you, if you have one, it's not my relative. We don't have any financial understanding. You can bring your own. You say you are in the business, you bring your. I got him. You were there doing the. But he
Yeah.
created so many issues that you pay her, you manage.
at the risk.
And then if there was anything wrong, you're paying for it too. Interesting. I wonder if they had
Of course.
said the same thing if you didn't pay for it and they paid for it, but you just recommended it. But that's why you should always have like 2 or 3 inspectors and let
Yeah.
them pick which one they want.
Yeah.
No, but people buyers are like, I don't know. For me, everybody say you choose.
Yeah.
I chose.
I'm okay to confidently choose one, but I never actually paid for a home inspection before. I don't know why. But
Like either
Yeah.
they ask for a cashback or something, some monetary. So it was just a $500.
that was a
that's
cashback.
okay.
Yeah, alternative.
The service.
I agree. Should have annual subjects also to that with some psychological bias and stuff.
A psych test before you write that.
You know, the only way we get around that is giving them 2 to 3 options with different levels of service or cost, and then let them interview, call them, they can pick. Even if you paid for it, let them still pick it.
So, from about clients and consumers, right? So we just had a lawsuit. We're supposed to be in court right now, but it got settled. But for the tenant, the landlord sued the tenant because the tenant destroyed the property, right? And then they sued us too because we brought the tenant to the property. So it's the same type of thing. So they're holding us responsible. They're making us guarantee the tenant's behavior,
For life, like
right? Which we can't do, right? So. Mhm.
the commission you're getting.
The commission. So yeah, you get a $1,000 fee. In this particular case, the guy did like $40,000 worth of damage, right? So they're suing us for the difference, which they don't have a case because we're not representing them, but they still feel that, right? So that's the purpose of it.
Yeah, they want to blame you where they can, right? Yeah, we're not looked upon as great people out in the industry.
It's quite to do all those things.
But he destroyed the property and now has a knowledge or got some knowledge from someone. They do that. They
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyways.
You want to summarize the video you watched earlier? Or?
Yeah, that was a big talk of it. It was just an agent talking about their 14-day listing system, and it just kind of got me thinking about systems and reminding you guys to have a system in place when you guys are working with listings. I think we talked about it even just a couple weeks ago, having something in play. like including like what days on the market you decide to go on. I think one guy was saying he goes on the market on Thursdays only, but he's just talking about getting your clients ready before the market, making sure like you have a lot of clients. We're always recommending decluttering, painting, prep work. A lot of the time people are so busy working that it's hard for them to get market ready. So as an agent, even if you guys are like, okay, well, I've got movers, cleaners, all that in your side pocket to offer them, these are part of your services up front. So a lot of us are giving the sellers advice and then they just kind of wait 2 months for the sellers to tell them they're ready. If you guys are ready to get on the market, you should have all of these people ready to go in terms of companies. Not that you're paying for them all, but they're coordinating all of it, like the movers, stagers, painters, cleaners, helping plan them. They're building a calendar for them on what day everything's happening. This is what we actually do as well. We send our clients a timeline. Cleaners are coming this day, or like movers come this day, painters come this day, cleaners, stagers, photographers. We have a system in place of the action items. So you guys should start to think about that if you guys are going to work with sellers and making sure you guys also have a system in place. Random question he asked was, do you discuss list price? He was saying, nope, we don't discuss list price until a couple of days before we go live on the market, just to show the clients that they're not just making things up. They're professional. We know that when you go to the market, you want to make sure you're checking out what's on the market before you choose a price. So when the sellers are asking what list price, usually we even say that we're not picking a price until we hit the market. You guys should also be using that language as well. Don't just pick a price 2 months in advance. Say this is the price today. In a couple of months, it still could be worth that, but the list price and the price we're going for could be completely different strategies. I think this he may give up, but he has a writer that does all the listing copyright descriptions. I think that's out now with AI. He was saying that AI, you can always tell when agents are using AI for their descriptions, which yes, but like, I don't know if that's a bad thing. I think we just need to accept that AI is writing a description. I don't think it's that deep
Is everybody here using AI? And most people here are using AI now?
to write your listing
Most people?
description.
No. Okay.
Really? See, I don't think when he was saying this might be an old school, new school thing, like, but I think it's fine. We're here to be efficient. We're all doing it. It's if anything, it's helping you more than anything.
Nice language.
Yeah, like cool. If it looks like AI, I don't really know if that's a bad thing. I don't know.
The one providing the prompt.
Yeah, you're providing the prompt, yes, but like how much description can you describe a 3-bedroom detached house? Like, like it doesn't go that deep. Maybe if it's a really like detailed, cool, unique home, then yes, maybe it's going to take a little bit extra. But I think if we're not using AI, I think you should. It's just helping yourself.
For those that have never used it, I'm assuming some people here have never even tried it, but you can upload your photo. You can upload a photo and maybe a couple photos of the property here, and then you can ask you can ask ChatGPT or whatever it is can you give me a 40-word description for a man-less listing? It'll look at the picture and give a description.
It'll actually look at the area,
The address,
amenities and stuff around the area too. So that's kind of helpful.
Yeah.
But I do know there's a lot of people.
But yeah, he was very anti-AI for listing descriptions, but he has a whole person on his staff that's writing. So like to me, that's a waste of money.
People are just anti-generative AI.
Yeah.
There's this it's a pain.
Oh, negative. They're
Yeah.
the one who using.
Oh, they will.
Yeah, like
Pretend that they are not using.
yeah, the copywriter's probably using it themselves, to be honest.
His speech would be written by.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I get it, like if you're writing a book or something, cool. Yeah, like maybe we shouldn't be using AI, but it's a listing description.
Yeah.
You guys remember social media? You guys remember Facebook when it first came out?
We're like anti.
I'm old enough to be around before Facebook was invented.
So are we.
And
Hello.
and I remember comments from people that didn't use Facebook says, "I don't want anybody to know what I had for dinner,"
Oh yeah, I'm like, well then don't post it.
because they were taking pictures of their dinners, right, of their plates, their food, or else, and nobody wanted. I don't want anybody to know what I had for dinner. I don't want to know my secret stuff. But now, realized Facebook has it's far more power. It's part of your whole network, right?
But you also have control of what you put out to the internet, right?
So same with the AI. So AI, what they're going to do, you got to be careful. AI, you'll ask for 40 words, but they're going to give you 400 words.
Yeah, you do have to say like.
So you got to go in there. Can you make it shorter? Can you make it shorter? Can you make it shorter? So you have, and then you make it yourself. Right? So
Yeah, I find that's the hardest part of the whole listing is listing description. So when AI came out, it was a lifesaver. The other thing this guy does is he has a QR code at the entrance of each house, which includes the home inspection that they give, the age of everything. He wants the buyers to come in with trust. So they put a QR code that just sends the buyer all the information, all the questions that they would want. or they can have the agent ask for it. But he wants to basically build as much trust as possible with them. And I believe in that too. Like, I love when a listing has a feature sheet with the age of everything. We have access to the attachments. The buyers don't actually have access to that. So there's some properties where you can do a one pager saying the furnace is this old, windows are this age, roof, etc. Because those are common questions that a lot of agents will ask you. So I love when people have like a one pager that you can just download. And then when your clients have questions, you don't always have to go to the listing agent. It actually saves you time as a listing agent from handling all the exact same questions that people have. So the more information you're giving out there, the less questions and calls you're going to get, and the more confidence you're going to get from both the agent and the buyers, because it just has that extra professionalism on it. They have the captions throughout the house with the ages of everything. So again, on the windows, they have the age, the furnace, the AC, all that stuff. So when the buyers are walking around, they can actually physically see everything. Again, less questions. And then they talked about the home inspection, which we just talked about. So that was just a quick system. So when you guys are thinking systems, it's not that complicated. These are just the same thing that the guy does every time he gets a listing. And I bet he sells that when he goes to a listing presentation and they say, what are you going to do? He says, well, I've got this 14-day listing system. And he outlines exactly what it's going to do and how he's going to solve your problem, how he's going to get you sold, and how he's going to get buyers to want to put an offer in. So if anything, he's probably using it to get listings. So I think it's a really smart idea. It was great.
Yeah, and it's good for your listing presentation. It separates you from somebody else.
Yeah. So when they say, what are you going to do to sell my house? He named it the 14-day listings, pre-listing system. So you guys can name yours whatever you want. Even if it's the exact same as someone, just show that you love something. That was our coaching session of the day.
Cool. Thanks. I'm happy to start.
All right, so what's going on with the market right now? Right now, the last week in July, first week in August, traditionally has always been the heaviest day for vacations. So
Right in the middle
I'm
of
surprised we have
summer
this many
school.
people here. So, you know. I mean,
We don't have many to travel, Claire. Just kidding.
So if you're a bit of a funk right now, it's okay to be in the funk this week and next week, and after that back to work.
Although you have that rule that if you're slow in business, book a trip, because that'll kind of solve.
Well,
some
I
of your
have a
problems,
couple
too.
of rules, yeah. So if
That's
you're gonna go on vacation, go on vacation. If you're not on vacation, then work. But don't pretend you're working.
Fair.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Right? Especially, I don't want to work today. I'll put my suit on and I'll go to the office and get a coffee and go home.
I've seen a few of those.
So that being said, being the slowest market right now, we've got 27,700 active leases. They're actually down a little bit. I think we're at 28,000 last week. The difference is 11,000 condos, 16,000 freeholds. Vacancy is about 32%. About 40% of condos are vacant right now. Sales, unfortunately, we're down about 8% from July of last year. So we've got about 4,600 sales so far this July, and last July same time we had 5,000. So it's minus 8%. Freeholds are actually minus 6%, and condos are minus 10%. Sales over asking. We're still doing offer debates.
Less and less. I can even see this number is reducing each week too.
So only about 16% of all properties are selling for over asking. 12% of condos, 19% of freeholds. So we've got a different strategy, I think, for the summer for pricing properties. I think that if you've got $1 million property, and you're trying to get $1 million property, and you think, well, I think I'll price it $800,000 and generate an offer deal, or an offer date and offer $800,000. What's happening here? We're getting offers for $780,000, $750,000, $790,000. You're not getting $950s, $900s.
They're
That's-
going
that's-
under
that's-
asking.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a really good strategy though too.
I don't know what the strategy was, but
Yeah, that was a good.
For Katelyn.
That's very good. 9 months ago, sold 1,080,000. Right opposite.
But that was a bad score.
so my point is that if you're going to price the property and you're thinking about getting multiple offers, sometimes it only works, like I say, 10% or 16% of the time. So I think the strategy today, you want to, if $1 million property, you want to price it. If you're going to price it low, you want to price it like $950,000 or $920,000.
Yeah, not like the huge. We used to say crazy low.
No, not
the obvious.
800,000, right?
No.
So you want to touch it a little bit. So what your target was 1.2 on that property. What did you list it for? 1,088,000. Okay.
So imagine you listed
So
1, 2,
low,
you'd be still
but
selling.
not crazy low.
So you had 4 offers, and how many offers were 1,088,000 or 1 million?
They're all
They all went above.
All above. Okay, so I guess that's okay. That's fine.
Well, he was lucky because the other house, the other side, they sold 1.25.
Yeah, we had direct comparables, right?
Yeah.
So this is again, it happens 16% of the time, right? But not every time. For July 25 last year, we had 6,000 sales. If we project the sales so far for this July, it's going to come in around 5,500. So again, it's going to come in about 8% less. From June 26, unfortunately, we're down 26%. So June was quite a big month. June we had what, 68, 69 sales,
Yeah.
6,900 sales.
Yeah.
So we're down 26% from June.
And we,
So June tells me it was our spring market.
yeah, it was. Yeah, May, June was our spring market. And you and I predicted this July 2 months ago because we can see what's coming. And I said May and June are pretty good, but it tapered right off in July and didn't come back. September, October, I think are going to be different, but I think this is what it's going to look for July, August.
So months of inventory we're guessing right now is going to be about 6.1 for condos, going to be 5.0 for everything, and 4.4 for freeholds. So it's still a bit of a buyer's market.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So if you got a client sitting there and the property's not selling and he's holding on to his price, it's not going to go anywhere. I don't think we're seeing real activity till September again, right?
Yeah.
Unless the government does something. Speaking of the government, did the Gordie Howe Bridge actually open today?
Yeah.
No, for sure, because Trump said he was going to hold on to it again.
No, I believe they did.
The art of the deal.
Although did anyone see his AI social media posts yesterday? He posted like every 2 minutes this AI ridiculousness while this stuff's going on. Crazy. Tariffs are a thing, yeah.
On the lease side, we got 15,000 active leases. Again, we had 27,000 properties for sale, 15,000 leases. So far this month, we've had, for the sales, we've had 4,600. For leases, we've had 10,000 leases done.
But that's similar.
So it used to be 1-to-1. It used to be for one sale, we'd have one lease. Now it's 2-to-1, right? Leases themselves are actually down 8%, down 10% for condos, down only 1% for freeholds, and compared to June 26, we're only down 1%. So leases themselves are holding their own. I suspect that students are going to come around in August, or you probably have, if you've got vacant units right now, hopefully you're going to get some students who'll come in there if you're in that market.
That said, though, the student population enrollments is way down with population was way down too. So you're going to get your normal students, but your influx of like new Canadian students is way down. So I think some of the university areas are going to struggle.
Yeah, but I was ready it came back up a little bit too.
Like not very much relative to what it's been like.
Some of our agents
years.
downtown have been doing a lot of leases right now, and they're doing a lot of leases because they know they haven't been making a lot of money this year, and they're saying that the leases have picked up a lot because the students are coming in. So if you guys don't want to miss an opportunity and you need some money, like I would get downtown right now and start to get some leases going because it is picking up, and probably by September it's going to go dead again. So if you're looking for some quick money right now, I would maybe do some downtown Toronto lease ads, even though you don't want to drive downtown, but this is for people that are looking for a quick opportunity. A lot of our downtown agents right now are just crushing out student leases until September.
Just to put it in perspective for those people that do need some extra cash here and there, and one individual I'm talking to, they showed 8 leases to 8 properties to I think 4 different tenants in one day. So if you think you're doing one a week or whatever, that's fine. He's doing like 4 a day. Yeah. And when I talked to him last time, he and basically all they do is they park the car at the first place and they walk around the next. So they book appointment
building.
They book buildings that are all close, so they can walk to them, right?
Yeah.
So it's a strategic what they're doing as well.
Yeah. And a lot of these students have like parents that are paying for them, so they're a little bit more qualified or young professionals. But yeah, if you're looking, I know a lot of people don't like to go downtown, but if you really do need a quick opportunity, I would be doing those like right now and try to get like 5 or 6 leases just whipped out in the next month or 2.
Right. So what we just said here is that this week and next week's are the 2 slowest weeks for vacations. But if you're not going on vacation, then
get downtown. Go to the bar.
It doesn't have to be downtown. You could do Markham. You could do I don't know, advertise 10 for leases in Markham and just go to them.
I'm just hearing downtown just because they're the most qualified tenants right now and most professionals. A lot of agents haven't liked to go there because the gas costs them more gas sometimes than it is for lease. But in terms of like Markham and stuff. I guess because Toronto's close to all the universities right now. Is there a university in Markham? No.
Yeah. There's
Is there? Okay.
There's Seneca.
Go anywhere near the university towns.
There's Seneca
Yeah.
College, yeah.
I'd say Toronto just because I feel like more people are commuting to Toronto versus like Durham College. Most of the students going to Durham College all live in Durham, so they're not renting places. But downtown, people are traveling from all over the world to go to school. So there's just more opportunities right there.
Now, if you're going to do,
Scarborough campus, yeah.
Yep, U of T, Scarborough, all of it.
Yeah.
But
So
even
just-
the U of
so
T
just
Scarborough
pick
might be
some-
more Scarborough people. I'm just thinking about quick opportunity.
Yeah, so just pick something that's near the university this time of year and try to pick up
Mhm.
some tenants. Right?
so if you are going to do tenants, they just started on the weekend, July 24. Tribunals Ontario is increasing their public access to LTV orders.
Oh.
So they're going back as far as 2021. So right now you can go on Canly and search for previous orders. But if you're going to be doing online leads and meeting tenants online, you may want to scrub them yourself first to make sure that there's no previous cases against them and that they are who they say they are. And if representing the landlord side, you definitely want to be screening.
So
the
it's
tenants
showing like
as well.
tenants that are being brought to the landlord tenant tribe.
Yeah, so it says starting July 24th, the LTV will begin posting all of its final orders. That's the final result issued between January 2026 and May 2026 on the Ontario government's open data catalog. So you can go in and search by like name, by address. These will not include orders for which confidentiality has been granted. So these are public orders. Will then commence publishing orders dating back to 2021 and subsequent phases with historical orders added incrementally over time. Current orders will be posted on a monthly basis to ensure easy access and support transparency with the public. So you could have already done something like this on Open Room. There was a website. Canly was already had some stuff on there, but now it's called Open Data Catalog. And you can go and search for January 2026 to today's records. And then over time, they're going to rebuild all the way from 2021. Definitely screen your people because we have seen tons of fraudulent credit reports, employment letters. So especially if you're going to be ramping up your leasing business with people you don't know, make sure you're screening them so that you're not wasting your time. Because the true waste of time is going to court and being sued for what you said, $1,000 in commission, right? And I also still recommend, everyone has free will. I can't say what you can charge, but consider charging your landlords a little bit extra flat fee to do this scrubbing, to go into the open data catalog and vet them and do the reports. Like maybe that's a big service. Maybe you do want to charge a little extra. I can't say what or how that is. It's up to you and how you want to charge them, but I consider it, especially if you're going to do a lot more. Sure, why not?
You can charge
So my
them, yeah.
experience with Ken Lee, has anybody here looked at Ken Lee before, guys?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. So Ken Lee, it's very complicated. You got to almost be a lawyer to be able to check it out. You got to know what's going on. You got to check the court. Is it divisional court? Is it Supreme Court? Is it
Correct.
ITB? Is it?
I searched my
you
own
gotta
last
source
name to
things.
see, and there's like tons of Fulton stuff in there. You have to like really scrub to see.
So I was reading that company called Open Door. Is it called
Open Room.
Open Room? I heard that they are going to populate their database with this information.
Yeah, so they'll probably take this open data catalog.
So Canley's free, but you want to pay the $15, you can get this open room to check it for you. Okay, so you can do that. Now, just so you know, it's a funny thing. I've got another lawsuit going on with another tenant who's suing us because our landlord published their name in open room, and they're saying it's confidentiality, and we're putting their name out to the public, and blah blah blah. So that's the lawsuit going on right now.
Obviously, we didn't do it. It's public interest in the online.
And just so you know, this tenant has access to AI.
Oh yes.
So every time I get a complaint from her, it's like 4 paragraphs. And unfortunately, AI or her doesn't know the rules because LTB decisions are all public. And open room is just going to the public and publishing in public. So the tenant is completely off, like we have no grounds at all, but we still have to defend ourselves. So.
Here's Ty as well.
And a case here, and this happened last week, got a call last week, but this girl here, she paid $8,000. She rented this place. It was a beautiful place. I guess she came from out of town. I'm going to make it up as I go. She came out of town and she rented this place for $2,000 a month. It was had big windows, had a big fireplace, 15 minutes from the college. It was a top floor suite and a red brick walk-up midtown, big windows, luxury vinyl floors, fireplace, 15 minutes for $2,000 a month. And anybody see a problem with that? And the person that was renting it wanted 4 months up front. So they gave her $8,000, and then she drove in from, I think she drove in from Winnipeg or someplace. Edmonton, yeah, okay, Edmonton. And then the guy said, "Oh, I'm having problems," and she found out it was complete fraud. The person doesn't own the place at all, and she gave $8,000 to a stranger.
That's a lot of money for somebody renting.
Tons.
That's an entire year's like.
And I got a call last week from one of our agents who got a call from somebody saying that his property he had for lease on MLS for $3,000 was on Facebook for $2,000.
Wow.
So just be careful. So and
Scams on both sides. That's a
and they tell you that. So what the guy's doing, he's taking a real listing and he's publishing it, put it on Facebook. He's cutting the rent in half and pretending that he's the landlord.
Doesn't show the place.
No, they don't show the place. They give him the money and they'll show the place. It's all a scam.
I know, but the person, how much naive.
No, somebody comes from Edmonton to do it online, right?
It's very common for people to do rentals by themselves through Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. Not everyone gets representation.
People book hotels in other places all the time. So they're used to doing these things. They don't think there's some fraudulent guy around, but there they are. So
Great.
too bad.
This is exciting. I like this one.
I do too. Yeah.
I think this is where condos need to go. We've been talking about this for a long time. People are turning condos into purpose-built rentals and things like that. But now there's more of a focus on accessibility, and not just seniors accessibility. They're talking about human accessibility. So a woman with a stroller walking through the condo, and people that are aging. There's a project in Brampton that Daniels is doing where they're talking about low-rise construction. So they think low-rise is where it's going to come back again. So they're already building this right now at Brampton's Mount Pleasant GO station. But thinking like ramped walkways, elevators, low threshold doors, reducing the risk of falls, fully accessible washrooms. So they're taking note of all these things, especially they're particularly trying in Brampton where there's multiple generations of families. Maybe they're all moving together in a condo type environment. So it has to be accessible for everybody. And they're seeing more projects like this all over the city. There's another one happening in Midtown Toronto. They're doing about 400 units, and they're focusing on larger bedrooms, larger kitchens, actual dining rooms. So it's not just seniors that they're targeting. It's a little bit of the aging population, but it's also just the family experience and the lifestyle of an end user that want to walk into a beautiful building and also go to a really nice restaurant or a cafe and do all of this with the walking with no barriers at all. So I think this is going to be a good model coming forward. It's going to take a long time to sort of redevelop these designs and activities, but I think it's going to be nice. And I'm excited to read something like this because I think this is where the pre-construction world is going, especially when they're targeting end users. And I think this is what people are looking for in the city. So the other building was,
90 or 80?
it could be anything. Yeah. This is 275 Merton in Midtown. So that's right at, heart of Midtown. So they're going to be focusing on a project there. These projects, by the way, do get fully funded from CMHC, the MLI program, the ACLP, HST. So they're taking advantage of all of these government programs because that's what they were there to do. So it's changing a little bit. And I even recognized a while ago that the purpose-built rentals, there's so many of them. I almost feel like we're going to have an abundance of rentals. So it's nice to see a shift to housing that's going to apply to everybody as well. So I think we should see that over time. Wide hallways, turning circles that can accommodate mobility devices, furniture, fixtures that preserve a passageway, natural rest nodes. There's a picture of what's called the garden room. So it's a literally room where they've got soil and plants and lights, and you can go and plant, like almost like a community garden, but not outside. It's actually like an indoor type amenity. So they're really being creative with what people want in condos. And I think that's a good thing because historically, past 10 years, our design of condos have not been very exciting. It's been very investment focused and just ROI and trying to get these little boxes sold. And it's got to change because that time is done now. So I think that's a good thing. I talked a little bit about that too. That's another thing that's going to change. I think it's a good change too. That's going to have to change also.
On the developers would be smart too if they put some kind of nursing station or some type of pill dispersing or something because
Blood pressure.
Yeah, like a little pharmacy check-in
or a little kitchen or something.
Vitals.
Just the little Meals on Wheel kitchen or something. Because the older people are getting older, and now you can't move into retirement homes less than
Like a cafeteria.
what, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. I mean, these places are expensive nowadays.
And also those places are like assisted living. And so people are not looking to be nursed. They're looking to still live and be independent, but with some services. They don't need to like a full nurse taking care of them, but somewhere in between.
Condos over there, which exactly what it's like. It's not the nursing home or old age home. They have everything.
It
Yeah.
should have like
Where's
a
this,
pharmacy
Where's
on
this?
the bottom
Literally,
or
yeah.
a cafeteria or
Yeah,
something.
cafe, restaurant, Carmen.
Rain? Okay.
So basically, it's
Doctor's office,
Yeah.
a walk-in clinic.
X-ray clinic, all your stuff. Bank, super. Yeah. But Amex is so expensive. They need like independent, privately owned things. Like
No, it's expensive, but the building next door to it is not expensive.
yeah.
Just the prices of other condos.
And then the
But
other
you
thing,
have
it
to have
helps.
access to everything.
Yeah. So then it helps them move from their detached 4-bedroom houses to give more supply to like, because that's what's happening too. People don't have options, so they're
It's
aging in
like
place.
a medical office building, and then on the top it's all residential condos. That's what it should be.
Put all the doctors
Put
and
all the
pharmacy
doctors,
downstairs.
pharmacies, bank, cafeteria, all downstairs, and
store.
then everyone lives upstairs
They are making it possible in the apartment.
Yeah.
on top of Costco's. Perfect.
That's where you're going.
Scanning those are his retirement. plans.
I think Senate will be the developer.
Yeah, exactly. First in.
So Kari talked last week about pre-construction, how Toronto, for some reason, and no, I don't think in Vancouver or Calgary, they don't do it, right?
They started to a little bit. I read that it's a trend from Hong Kong. It's what they started it. That someone brought it here to Toronto, but it's not common.
So in Ontario, what they do, they pre-sell properties, and then once they get 70 or 80% sold, then they can get financing. Whereas everywhere else in the world, you get financing first, you build the place, and then you sell it.
Yeah, they don't use the deposits from the buyers are using as unsecured creditor to build
this
the building.
is what the government said, that the pre-construction stuff was like a Ponzi scheme where everybody was like putting money hoping that the property is going to increase in value. It was like a Ponzi scheme. There wasn't anything real. It was just all just money given, right? But the answer is to do this. I know that is it Daniels?
Yes, Melanie, I think it's one Daniels.
Daniels is done where they'll build them first and then they'll sell them after. On some of the cases.
Yeah, there's some builders like Center Court. They did pre-sell, but they still have their own financing. So they're not relying on the deposits to fund the building. They have their own financing, but they did a hybrid where they pre-sell. But the difference with Center Court, they won't have an occupancy phase. So when it's ready, you'll move in and you'll close on your unit because they finance it already themselves.
I was going through Instagram on the weekend there, and somebody says, "Who says that pre-construction is dead?" And they had this property at Treasure Hill. Does anyone know that Treasure Hill? They're a big builder. Would that be the ones in Barrie or Treasure Hill?
I didn't even see him.
Bowmanville. Anyways, people were lined up. The parking lot was full of people. People lined up to buy the pre-construction.
Are they real?
Real people. Look like real people to me.
You never know.
They're all pretty well dressed, eh? So they're all just they're probably all realtors.
That's true.
No, nobody ever learns, right? I don't know. Treasure Hill. I'm not sure. It's a Newcastle, I guess. So there you go. There's Newcastle. And what would they be selling for? 500, 500,000. Everybody.
99.
Really?
So there's still $1 million in Newcastle. Okay, I take that back. Why would people lined up to buy that then?
New.
Yeah, but it's Newcastle too. I mean, it's not like Toronto.
Yeah, but
Going out that way now and stuff like that. So
yeah.
It will do. They talked about this for 25 years. People went out and bought 25 years ago.
And then they got a Tim Hortons. So yeah.
So now apparently it's really happening. So you can see it update.
Yeah, people, like, especially from the city, want to move out east, and they're going further and further. Like even Peterborough, we've got people going out there.
My good stuff.
Yeah, mine's not good stuff.
My good stuff.
But usually you have the no good stuff, so I'm just trying.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Please
So
do.
new condo sales climbed 50% in Toronto and Hamilton. With that HST rebate, apparently the sales are going up 50%. They're still 85% below the 10-year average,
Correct. Yep.
but it's still up 50% from last year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and what they're saying here is that the pipeline keeps on shrinking. So they're selling existing product. They're selling standing inventory, but not building new inventory. So we will see a time when there's going to be shortage of inventory. It's going to be shortage of properties. So we're going to get back.
I know it's so weird to think about that right now because we have an abundance right now, but there is going to be a point where
It's going to be a point.
27,000 is not enough.
When was the last time you
2029?
heard that there was not enough housing? When was the last time Ontario, they wanted to build 150,000 houses
Not
in
even close to that.
a year or something?
Yeah.
They don't talk about that anymore, do they?
No, they just talk about how we're not meeting those targets at all.
Yeah, this where a new report suggests GTA condo market may be turning a corner as new home sales rise. So there you go.
That's positive. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
I talked about last week, Korea changed their forecast to, they thought we were going to have an increase this year in sales, but they actually decreased their opinion to be 1% down compared to last year. And CMHC has followed suit as well. So they say home sales and prices, which is a good thing, but also sales will be declining this year, downgrade from its earlier forecast. It says returns and modest growth about 2028. Or maybe another year of this stabilization. And the main factors are still economic uncertainty, slower population growth, borrowing costs. Even though interest is stabilized, it's still higher. And just uncertainty are expected to weigh heavy on the market. So I think we're kind of seeing that right now. They're forecasting to sell 457,000 homes in all of Canada the full year. With a home average price of $675. Again, that's all over Canada, so it's pretty generic. But overall, they're forecasting it about the same as last year, if not a little less. So that kind of makes sense to what we're seeing. They're not bad. I think it's the uncertainty. I think it's still affordability. Like it's still over $1 million. I don't think that they were. Yeah, we do, but. Yeah, but it's still expensive. So when they say borrowing costs, it's the cost on $1 million property. It's still a lot for people. People are deciding to rent now instead. Just overall market, it's going to be pretty similar to last year.
They're also saying here that even though the sales were up 50%, they're also saying the prices dropped 10%.
Of the pre-con?
Well, that'd be the 13% HST, right?
Yeah.
From last year.
Resale spread up one.
Resale was, what was the last market watch? That was 5%, wasn't it? Drop?
For prices, 5% drop.
5% drop, yeah. Year over year.
But it was the first time for HPI. I think HPI was a bit more stable from May to June.
It dropped down to 2.8.
Yeah.
So. I heard that the price of oil is going down today, so the stock market I think should be positive today. But then that's today, tomorrow's another day. Mm-hmm. This condominium here is a one-bedroom condominium resale. Sold for $290,000. They're saying is that the new low?
Pretty low.
Yeah, like you have similar stats, but a totally different article and headline, but it's the same information. Yours is better, but they're saying in the Toronto area real estate market, some buyers are bottom fishing, and it's because of stuff like this that's selling for under $300,000.
Where is that?
Toronto.
But where?
Oh, this one is a Tobaco condo. I have examples from like Liberty Village, and the agent was saying budget or client came to me, so my budget's $300,000, and she wanted to laugh at them, said no way, but then she went on Realm and realized that actually yes, there's lots of options under $300,000.
This one here was sold for $290,000. It was 600 square foot on 1195 the Queensway.
Wow.
Yeah.
290,000 for a 500 square foot.
And the building's
600.
and the building's no parking. But the building's only 3 years old. It's sold power sale.
Wow.
Yep.
But they're also saying that half the square footage is a long hallway. So he said that the design itself is not, it's not square. It's like a long skinny thing. Long hallway takes up half the square footage. So you're not,
You have only sitting area like this.
Yeah. So it's
I saw something the other day I haven't seen before. I'm helping an agent evaluate a pre-con condo that was bought, and I asked the question, "What's the square foot?" He goes, "I don't know, actually. I'll send you the agreement. I can't find it." And I looked at it, and there actually is no square footage mentioned. And it's a layout of the floor plan, and it says at the bottom, the fine print, square footage to change on the final thing. So we actually have no idea what the square footage is of this place. And so it's going to be in occupancy soon. And I think he has to go measure it. And because I don't know how to price it just based on the floor plan, but that's sneaky. I haven't seen that in any of the agreements before. So be careful. I think it's Toronto somewhere, but the point is like, there's no square footage. So how are you going to price it out? And how do you know what you're buying without buying something? It's interesting.
You saw the square footage. Plus minus 5%.
Sure, I mean, it had nothing. It was just nothing. There's no
This is
admission.
pre-construction?
Yeah. I don't know. There must be the original marketing brochure that maybe you'd have to put in as part of your agreement. But I had the whole 100-page document schedules I had AI read it. There was no square footage mentioned anywhere in this thing.
Doesn't CMHC have a minimum square footage that they'll? It's a 400 square feet for CMHC, but you can still get private land. You can still do without CMHC.
Yeah, this was Toronto. It was Midtown.
They will make a micro condo. They will make an exception.
Yeah, interesting. So just watch that too because I don't know how.
Same condo North Shore. They may not do it, but no.
I'll get the shorter.
Maybe both my scorecard. You have more stuff.
No, I'm just at the end with the little stuff.
So I don't know if you guys know, I have an HR background before I got into real estate, and I started thinking about performance reviews and my corporate environment. You know, like I had a boss and it was 9 to 5 and I had a set of key metrics I had to meet, performance reviews every 3 months. So I thought, imagine agent had a performance review. Like what would you be measured on? Like how do you determine if you did good work that day or if you performed well, not just in sales, right? So I created a scorecard. This is what you guys can think about. When Claire says you're either working or not, these are things you should be doing as
And we're
part of
gonna
your
ask this a lot.
job. Like this is, if you were working 8 hours a day and had a boss, and this is some of the metrics they'd be looking at. So under prospecting, how many calls did you make last week? Like brand new calls, prospecting, how many physical calls did you make? How many new contacts did you add to your database? So out of those calls, did you find anyone new? How many new people did you add to your database? How many doors did you knock? Or how many farming touches did you have? This isn't a 1 week period. You can be measured every week for this. How many open houses did you host? Okay, and then you go into your appointments and consults. How many listing appointments did you book? So we used to measure this too, part of our
We
coaching
still
programs. We used to
do.
track this.
Yeah.
How many listing appointments did you actually go on? How many buyer consultations did you hold? How many CMAs or letters of opinion did you provide? How many listing agreements did you actually sign? Then you go into showing houses, and how many houses did you get into that week? How many houses did you physically go
buyers
to?
as well.
I like that one better.
Santa,
Me
how, many,
too.
Sam, how many houses did you see last week? 12.
Only 12.
12 on a calm week, okay? So 12 houses he entered. How many offers did you write? How many offers did you get accepted? How many deals actually firmed up? How many new listings did you take? How many active listings do you have right now? How many deals closed? Well, now we're getting into, deals per firm, and closing is a whole other thing. And then how many past clients referral check-ins did you do? How many deals did you submit, complete, full, compliant, FINTRAC, everything's done? How many deals did you submit? Those are past. I didn't even talk about social media, marketing, any of that other stuff. But if you were measured every week and had a boss that was measuring you, these are some of the things that they'd be looking at to determine if you performed well that week.
All right, who failed?
I used to ask when I did. I used to say, how many hands did you shake?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because all the other stuff means nothing unless you're actually seeing somebody in person.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just, how many pounding? Hello?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure. How many
How
hugs
many
did you
hugs?
give?
How many
people
hugs
did
did
you
you
hug last week?
How many namaste did you do?
Yeah.
I did 18 on Saturday.
But it's really good because
Because the way I figure it, all the stuff here, everything you just described,
that's your job.
gets you to the point where you shake a hand.
Correct. Yeah.
So if you didn't shake any hands for the last month, but all the stuff you're doing here for what purpose?
Then you're definitely not closing deals and you're definitely not making.
Well, you're not closing for the appointment. Right? You're just going through the motions of being busy.
Well, the market's down, so you're going to have to work that much harder to maintain something sustainable for yourself, right? So you have to make sure this is only half of probably what your job entails too. But these are things happening every
Yeah, like
day,
this
all the
doesn't
time.
include marketing, but this is probably the more important than marketing.
That's why I didn't even talk. I almost had social media posts on here, and that is important, but it's not for everybody. That's not really the basic of the
How many
business.
people did you talk to?
How many houses did you go into? Like, if you don't have any active clients,
that's
just
a good
book some previews, take a video, go explore, learn, see what's out in the neighborhood. You're in real estate. You have to go see the real estate.
Now, this is something I'm not sure if anybody does anymore or not, but you guys know that you can inspect properties. You don't have to have
They
a
call it
client.
like an agent
call it a
preview is what they
preview.
call it.
And as a category in Broker Bay, it doesn't say buyer inspection. It says agent preview. And you're fully admitting, I'm not bringing a client. I'm here to go
Just
preview.
doing a preview. So I'm thinking myself, I don't know. I mean, if you have in your routine, okay, you do all your stuff in the morning, get all your calls done in the afternoon. When do you go home? No, you go home and maybe not door knock, or just go
Make a
look,
plan.
go look
Look
at a
at
couple of
houses.
properties on your way home. It's particularly if you want to do a farm area. If you're in a farm area, you want to look at every property that's for sale, every open house. Remember the old days there, Shiv and Ender, you tell them, I don't know, what's the street name in Melbourne? Okay, I'll go to Ender and I say, Ender, I think Shiv was Crotel, I think Ender was McKnight or something. Anyways, you go to Ender, you say, the house is at 24 McKnight. Do you know what it is? He's, yeah, it's 2-bedroom bungalow. It's got a blue roof or something. I don't know. He would know the neighborhood like the back of his hand. He would know every model, every house.
Yeah. I get a question from one of my elderly clients. Have you been through yet? Like she'll send me a listing and ask me if I've been through. It will be day 0. Have you been through yet? Because she thinks I'm seeing all the houses. And I have to say, no, this was my first time, but that's why. It's that mentality, because it was very common for an agent to go and know all of the houses before you went to go.
Because sometimes you guys do like the caravans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes you have a buyer and they do what they call pre-inspections for the buyer. So rather than showing the buyer 50 homes or 20 homes or 12 homes, they'd show like 2 or 3 because they'd already saw the other 10 themselves.
Yeah. I love doing previews. I love doing stuff like that. So quick. You just get in, you know right away if it's going to be good for your client or not. Take a video if you need to.
Yeah.
It's very quick to do that.
So it's kind of funny. It's a bad thing to say. I'll say it anyways. But if you're in the real estate business, when was the last time you're in a stranger's house?
Yeah. It should be all the
We
time.
in strangers' houses every day. No, I think like on that topic, 'cause I think what triggered it, I don't know if that's what triggered it, but I think I had 3 texts last week from agents asking me, they each got Realtor.ca leads. So whenever we get leads, Realtor.ca, we typically pass it off to the listing agent that gets it. And a few of these agents were like, well, I don't want to waste my time. And without saying, I'm like, well, what are you doing? Like, what do you mean waste your time? Like, what do you mean? Like, this is a live buyer interested in your listing. What time are we wasting here? Like, right, this text message alone is wasting time. So if you guys are getting Realtor.ca leads, yes, we know that these buyers are coming to you guys because they think they're getting a discount with the listing agent, yada, yada, yada. But that buyer could actually buy your listing. Or if we were good salespeople, we would bring them to the listing, show it to them, and do a consultation with them and try to get them to work with you to go buy another place with you so that they're not consistently always calling the listing agent. But a lot of listing agents right now are just saying, well, I don't want to waste my time. And I don't know what time is being wasted other than not doing anything at all. So if you guys are even using those terms, like, yes, there was a time in a market where we would be wasting time, like 2021. You didn't really have a lot of time to waste because we were so busy trying to work with only qualified people, and a lot of people were wasting time. Now things are so slow that, like, if you get a buyer plopped into your lap, that's like go for it. Like, get on a consultation, get them qualified. We were like, set them up with a mortgage broker, get them qualified. Even before you even get them qualified, just bring them to the house and meet them and then get them qualified. Like right now, we might not have the pre-approvals, but like we have a lot of time. So get them into the house, meet them at the home, show them around, build rapport, then do like, we're almost going backwards a little bit where we're going to get them pre-qualified before we show them the house, because now we want to build that rapport more than anything. But I don't like when people are saying I'm wasting my time right now, because I know there's not a lot of business being around. So a lead is not wasting time.
Unless your time is full of all the things I just said, and there is no more time, then what'd you say earlier, Sanik? Every contact is a lead, or everyone is a lead, no matter what.
So maybe you guys are doing this now, but the old days we used to teach agents that it's your own list. It's your own listing. If it's your own listing, right? They want to go like your own listing. They give you a call, Realtor.ca. But what some agents did in the past, they would not just show that one property. They'd show 3 or 4 properties in the same neighborhood, the same type of property, in case they didn't like that one. Say, well, like, while we're here, we're out anyways.
Why don't we go see?
I'm gonna book a couple other properties that are similar. We can compare.
You already know that person is looking in that area. They're not just looking at yours. So they're also calling all the listing agents. So you might as well be the one that takes it and just uses it to show you, right?
Yeah.
So what we'd also do, back in the old days, they had newspapers, right? And the person would call your ad on that one newspaper. They call you on that property that you had advertised, right? But what we used to do, I don't know if we did or not, we taught it anyways. Get the newspaper yourself and circle your listing, but also circle the other listings that are similar to yours in that newspaper. Because chances are that he circled yours, he's following you, he's probably circled this guy and this guy and this guy. Same idea you're talking about. Mm-hmm. So he's phoning you directly to the agent, but there's also another one around the corner. Do you think he phoned that agent as well? Or emailed that agent? Yes. Likely. So if that person phones you and says, I want to see your properties, that's great. There's 2 or 3 in the neighborhood that's similar. You probably already saw those too. Why don't we book an appointment for those while we're at it?
Yeah. and understanding agent behavior. A lot of those listing agents probably also didn't pick up the phone because they thought it was a waste of time. So
Correct.
there's a high chance that if you picked up the phone and you agree to it, the other listing agents may not have been entertaining them either because we know that strategy. We know that they're coming to you. We know they want a discount on commission, but maybe we don't want them to buy our listing and we'll try to get a full commission on another one or something like that. But there's something about wasting time that there's no time to be wasted right now other than not dealing with the lead. But
So I knew another agent. This is real. This is a real world. And it was him, and he would advertise a particular property that had a particular thing to it, right? Particular thing that was attractive. And then somebody would phone him up and look at that property, but he would also book. Okay, I'll take that back. He would have seminars for investors. Investors would want to buy a property. And rather than showing the one property, he'd show them 3 or 4. And he'd have an offer already pre-typed for those 4 offers because he figured the guy's going to buy one of them. Because they're investors. They didn't care whether it was blue or red carpet. Who cares? It's an investor, right? So he'd actually do operate there while he was at it. So
yeah,
curious.
so many strategy.
So many strategies.
Well, I have the most exciting topic next. Does anyone else want to do something before I talk about that? I'll let you end with it. Mine will be boring.
Yeah, you go.
Okay, we're going to announce the FINTRAC quiz winner. I know you guys are very excited to see who in this room completed it. We had about 50 people, I think, complete it. Some people. And then
That was a very
online.
shy.
No, it's your
quiz.
favorite topic. The questions were debatable. Claire doesn't like them, so he'll just tell her. I like them, but I made it, so I'm biased. But I'll still go over some of the answers because I think they're things we should know. We did okay as a group, like average. Some people got perfect. Some people got I think 5 was like the lowest score. So not terrible. But the first question was, what is FINTRAC's mandate? And the correct answer was to combat money laundering, terrorist activity financing, and threat to Canada's security while protecting personal information under its control. That makes sense. Everyone knows that's too complicated for you. That's why you're like, this one was just so the actual act itself, it's very long. So this question was, what is a primary federal act regulating Canadian anti-money laundering? So the actual act itself is called the Proceeds of Crime, Money Laundering, and Terrorist Financing Act. And there's a short form. You wouldn't necessarily have to know that, but it is a 6 to 7 digit short form for what it stands for. And this one was interesting. This was a select all that apply. But what is the purpose of the receipt of funds? Because some people got this wrong. It was kind of surprising. So they were all correct. So one of them was to confirm where the money is coming from and which accounts are involved. That's the most important one. FINTRAC wants to know the actual account, the origin account the money came from. That's the whole point of the receipt of funds. Receipt of funds is part of FINTRAC, so they go hand in hand. To fulfill legal record-keeping requirements for licensed real estate professionals and to create a detailed log. Who is responsible for creating a receipt of funds record? Most people got this, right? Buyer's agent.
Are you going through all the questions?
Yep. There's only
Could I just go back to receipt of funds for a second
yeah,
here?
sure.
We had an auditor. The auditor came in and audited us. One thing I didn't realize, but agents don't realize, we asked for FINTRAC information for a deal that fell through. And they didn't say the deal fell through. What do you need the FINTRAC information for? Right? So think about the first part. The first part, this is all money laundering. So what a perfect opportunity to clean money by giving a fake offer, giving you a $50,000 deposit, and then have the fake offer not come through and give me the $50,000 back. I've just laundered $50,000 because now I have a check from Central Line 1. So it's actually more important to get the FINTRAC for the deals that fall apart than it is the ones that go through.
Yeah.
You follow me there? So we get that all the time. Like, well, the deal didn't go through. Why should I give you the FINTRAC? Well, this is why, or the receipt of fund in particular.
Now, keep in mind, though, the tricky part is, as a listing brokerage, we're the ones to release the funds back, but it's the buyer's agent that's responsible for completing the receipt of funds. So now when I'm closing out mutual leases, I'm actually checking the name payable to. If it's not on the agreement, technically not my responsibility, but I will probably flag the buyer's brokerage that something's off because we actually have to follow the mutual release. It says payable to both parties agreed. I have an obligation to follow that. But if I do notice something weird, I'm definitely going to flag it, whether it's through an STR or just letting the buyer's brokerage know that there's a discrepancy between the payable too. But that's a bit tricky in Ontario.
STR, what's STR?
Suspicious transaction report. So third party transaction occurs when the following happens. This question was, which of the following is not a third party transaction? So on page 2 or 3 of the FINTRAC form, it says, is this a third party? Yes or no? We have to fill it out no matter what. So most of the time it's going to be no. But an estate sale is not a third party, because an estate sale, that person's no longer here. There's a person representing the estate, and that's the person we're going to identify. But that's not a third party, because they are the estate. Whereas with a power of attorney, is someone signing on behalf of somebody. That is a third party. So we would say yes to that and ID that person. The deposit provider is someone other than the buyer. So mom, dad, uncle, brother, real estate agent, if you're getting into that, which you shouldn't. If you're doing the deposit, that's a third party. So we'd have to say yes. And we have to ID the brother, mother, uncle, real estate agent as well. Could also be a business associate purchases a property in their own name, but is acting entirely on behalf of a hidden investor's instructions, meaning that someone's buying it, but they're receiving instructions and direction from a third party. So that would still be considered doing a transaction on behalf of a third party.
Who's monitoring you? They monitor
Who is monitoring?
those who they are monitoring them.
I don't know. It's the government. When must you identify the client? This one was a trick question. We had some speculation. So one of the options was before signing a representation agreement. We didn't include that as an option because your FINTRAC IDs have to be 6 months current. So you might meet a buyer or a seller and not sign a representation agreement for a couple months later, and we want to make sure the ID is current. That said, it's still kind of good practice to ID somebody because you want to know who you're working with, but technically that form has to be 6 months current. So it's the timing of that answer that was a bit tricky. But as soon as you sign a representation agreement, you would do your FINTRAC ID. Could also be by the time the offer is accepted. So it doesn't necessarily have to be at representation, even though it should. But again, the timing is an important consideration because the ID has to be current and not expired. Upon closing was a wrong answer. So you can't just do the deal and then do your FINTRAC at closing. You would do it any of those times before. So in our particular brokerage, one of the questions was, when does our brokerage consider a business relationship? This is a bit tricky as well, because in the past, we have talked about where 2 or more real estate transactions in a 5-year period would be considered a business relationship. That's the true minimum standard. At our brokerage, that's very hard to track. We have a lot of agents. You guys do a ton of deals. I've made it a policy that every single time you do a transaction, I want a FINTRAC form, whether it's a recreation of the one you have already and make sure that the ID is still current. And we're still going to ask for it every transaction because it's quite complicated to track. You guys would be required to track that on your own. And if you're not doing that, then I would have to. And without Lone Wolf would be my closest thing I could track that with names, but that's quite complicated. So it's just our own internal policy that we have a FINTRAC form with every deal.
If they're a seller, at the same time if they're buying after the selling.
That's okay. It could be one form, but just like send us that form so we know that form goes with that transaction, because we're not always paying attention to the addresses and the names. You know that, but just upload the form again for that same transaction. This is an important one when you're IDing a corporate client. So your seller is a named company, business name, it's a corporation. There's way more paperwork you need to do for a corporate client. So you're going to do your articles of incorporation. They can provide that, or you could find it online. That tells you that they have signing authority to bind that corporation. You have to do their personal ID, so the regular ID for that human with the driver's license and an address, and a corporate identification form. So there's actually 2 separate forms. It talks more about the company and how many shares that person owns and what they're interested in. And then the last form is a beneficial ownership record form. If they own 25% more shares in that company, you also need to complete that form as well. So there's 4 forms if your buyer or seller is a corporate client. Health card is obviously not an acceptable form of ID. Most people got that one correct. When you have reasonable grounds to suspect a transaction is being conducted on behalf of a third party, what do you do? So this is where it's suspicious. You feel like someone's talking in someone's ear. You don't feel good about it. What do you do? Come to me and let me know, and we may file an STR, or I might put it on a high-risk client list. But if you're not sure something funny is going on in your gut, just let me know, and I will help you with that. What must you do when you know or believe a property is owned or controlled by a terrorist or terrorist group? Call 911. I'm just kidding. Call me as well. If you think they're on that list, call me as well. Call 911 was not the right answer. What is a politically exposed person? This was a PEP, P-E-P. That is an individual entrusted with a prominent public function, such as senior politician, judge, or executive of state-owned enterprise. Head of international organization. I know this is challenging because we don't typically work with these types of people. It's very rare that we would work with a PEP or an HIO, but they do exist. So we have to know what they are. But a head of international organization is a person who holds or has held within the last 5 years the office or position of a head of an international organization established by the governments of the states, an organization, or even an international sports organization. So again, these are not your typical clients, but that's what it is. How do you know if they're a PEP or an HIO? So there's online databases that we can search for. If you use the FINTRAC app, that will also search for those people and bring up a flag. You can also ask the client directly if they have affiliations with any of these things, or use an internet search. And I think that was it. Does that make sense to everybody? Everyone knew all that stuff already?
Everybody's saying, why bother?
Why bother? I know. I just saw more FINTRAC news that they just caught all these like cryptocurrency things. There was like fake crypto stores on Yonge Street, and they're facilitating crime between Iran and here. Like that's real stuff happening in FINTRAC versus the real estate stuff. Like we're all dealing with regular people that you guys know who live in the Scarborough GTA area. In our world, it's very different, but there are actual FINTRAC stuff happening. It's way bigger than what we're seeing. That's the unfortunate part. But hey, we've passed our audit. We are officially closed for review. You will still get all of my notifications on SkySlope if something is missing. We'll do another review next year. I'm sure we'll have another audit in 3 to 5 years. We're in the system now, but for now, we'll just continue to talk about it every week. And then the winner, I have my phone on me, but I did do the draw. I'll send you guys the video earlier. You have to do like a little bit of a drum roll or something. I don't know. The winner is Mata from Shiv's team. I don't know if she's online, but I will message her in the group. She also coincidentally got 15 out of 15 on the FINTRAC quiz.
She cheated.
I told you guys to cheat. This was an open book. You could have cheated. You should have.
She did AI.
You're welcome to do it. So she got perfect. I think she should.
That means she's resourceful.
Yeah, right? I know.
She's resourceful.
So Mata is going to come. She gets a ticket to the Blue Jays game with us September 27th. We're going to be there. You guys can also still buy tickets. September 27th, they still have tickets available, but Mata won a ticket, so we'll get that over to her. And thanks for completing the FINTRAC quiz. And we'll do a round 2, and you can pick the questions. You can make it simple if you want. You can make it.
Claire's going to do his own.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do another.
We'll do another Jay's draw.
My question is, why do we fill this form out?
Oh my gosh.
Hey, you tell us
Tell us why.
I wish all of you could sit
'Cause you
through an
have
audit
to.
with us.
I know. Oh my gosh. I wish you
mean,
could all
I
do.
wish you could all sit in with the audit with us and hear how these people talk.
Yeah. Like I felt like a criminal for about 3 months, honestly. Like I was like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm.
Just talking about a broker in Hamilton. He says, I was ready to hand in my whole broker's license here rather than deal with these guys.
Fair.
Have you done that? Have you gone through an audit? Yeah.
I had a meeting with my compliance.
Yeah, they have their compliance people.
Oh, through
Right, Dominion.
Okay, that's right.
Hmm.
They all talking about the exposure. How are you keeping an eye on the book? But it's So hey, you want this PI people? Like, how do you manage them?
And then we said to them, like, I don't know. We said, like, who's got the time to do all this stuff? Who's got the manpower? We'll go hire people. That's their attitude. It's not our, this is the law. You got to deal with the law. That's it. If you don't have enough manpower, hire somebody. They don't care.
No, meanwhile, there's actual like serious FINTRAC stuff happening in the world. It's not happening here. They're not gonna.
They come after they're only a small guy.
Yeah.
Can't go after the big guy. Big guy
Give those RECO results.
can't do nothing.
Like, can I put them on your desk? Okay.
Oh, I didn't know what that was for.
The fines.
Yeah, you had to file that last week though, didn't you?
No, it's different. They're different.
No, I cannot stand it to grab it. You got the file of papers in the. There's like a stack of papers in there.
Newspaper ads. And
So don't go to events.
Just go by here.
All right. So while we're waiting for Sanic to grab something, I'm just gonna go over events that we have coming up. August 19th, we are doing another lunch and learn at the Ajax office with forget the team. Wojcik. Is that a law? Wojcik. One of their lawyers is gonna come in and talk about probate sales with you guys. We're laughing because last week we did a meeting recording and our sound didn't come through, so we used AI. to write out what we were talking
It was just a
about.
backup. We ended up getting sound fine because Houston always has 2 backups, but it was kind of funny to see what
It was
AI
funny what
summarized
AI
for that.
said. Just about our event that's happening, Brand's event on September 10th. I just want to read it because it was funny. It says they're planning a real estate conference. Specifically, the 3 of them, 2 women and an older man in a suit, are sitting around a table going through the logistics, content, and market materials for an upcoming event called Endure 2026, a full-day real estate conference happening September 10th in Ajax. The woman in the middle does most of the talking and seems to be running the meeting. The man reviews a thick document throughout. Near the end, the woman on the left pulled out a printed promotional flyer and they look it over together. That's likely what they've been building toward the whole time.
Yeah, that was our meeting last week.
So September 10th, Fidus Mortgages is hosting Endure. I think this is the 3rd one that you guys have hosted. It is a free event. They even have someone coming from Ryan Serhant's team, which you guys did a really cool video on. Serhant's in it. We've got Sherry Cooper, an economist, and just a bunch of other speakers, networking, and all of that. So it's a free conference. So sign up.
We did not plan it. This is
all Rand's
Not
fees.
Not the lady in the middle.
I think you guys, I think after they release the Serhant video and all that stuff, they're probably going to get a lot of people signing up for the event. So if you guys haven't signed up,
Right
make
now.
sure you do it today because they only have a certain amount of seats. So don't wait until September 2nd and email Varan saying I didn't get a ticket.
Do it today.
Click the QR code. I'll send an email again. It's in the WhatsApp group, but we've been promoting it pretty heavily, but it's Varan's, but it's not just us. That's why I'm saying RSVP. There's all the brokerages in GTA will be invited. So I'm trying to give you guys the opportunity to get ahead of it before the tickets sell out. So make sure you guys
right
come
now.
to that, like today. And then like Carly said, September 27th, the Jays game is happening with Century 21 Canada. And then put in your calendars for September 16th, our back to school program with me. It's going to be every Wednesday for 5 weeks, starting September 16th. So that's our back to school where you guys get to relearn, retrain, and all that good stuff. So we have a lot happening in the next coming months. But yes, you guys can sign up.
Okay.
One final thing.
More final fun RECO things. Reminder, your RECO insurance is due August 14th. You still have some time. I know you're all going to do it
You're
like
going to do it
August
August
13th.
14th.
But just like you don't want to delay that. They will charge you a fee to reinstate it. This is what makes you licensed. This is not your TREB. That's your MLS, your ROM, ORIA. This is your license. You're in Ontario. We'll find out if you didn't. You'll get reminders from us. Do we get a list or no? We have to manually search now. Do we get a list of who doesn't? Who hasn't renewed? Like we used to? No. So check.
Computer when
Yeah. And then there's been some new cases. We talked about some of them last week, but they're quite intense.
I don't know, just the RECO case, in case you get, in case you want to do something, just Travis, or
That's what makes me laugh.
I
I'll
know,
tell you what.
you see them? So there's 2 audits going. So there's the RECO audit, and there's also the FINTRAC audits now. But this is all RECO stuff here right now. But I'm just curious now that they picked it. We've been audited now with FINTRAC how many times? 3 times? 3 times
Three.
there, and we're talking to my competitors, and they've been 0. And what we found out is that FINTRAC had a list of brokers that they kept on going back to. They didn't have a list of new brokers. They only had a list of old brokers. So they kept on going back to the old brokers again and again, and not doing new people.
No, and they also targeted, they told us straight out, they target people with heavy volume because the more volume they have, the more likely something's going to happen. So we had high volume, we had a history.
So here's somebody here on July 22nd got charged $9,000 to personally, and I think another $8,000 to the company. $9,000 to the company, $8,000 personal. It was a one-man office for taking money out of their trust account and not dispersing money properly. That they probably did like 4 deals a whole year.
Really?
so now they're starting to catch these guys.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a good thing. There's some guys got fined for not doing the proper trust accounts on their properly on big huge companies.
Look
here.
at the huge
That's
US
LPT,
company.
new company coming into Canada. That's not a great
Right.
entrance to Ontario.
This one here goes to the discipline committee because they failed to disclose that they had multi-representation and failed to disclose that they're doing a commission reduction for their offer. You know, if you got multiple offers and you get your own offer, you have to disclose everybody. If you reduce your commission, you got to tell the other people, oh, by the way, I've reduced my commission, right? They didn't do that, so now they're off to the court, right? This one here, failing to take reasonable steps to verify the permitted use of a basement unit and advertise incorrect information regarding the use of the property. Anybody want to guess what that was for?
Rental income.
Basement apartment, not legal.
Rental income.
So I'm saying stay away from
They probably
those.
have them.
Don't even like why bother? Here's this person here is going to go to the RECO jail, right? This one here, what'd she do?
The documentation.
Failed to identify instruction individual named as a tenant. Okay, that's different. Okay, that's fine. Then RECO has early resolutions. They say, okay, fine, you got to go take this course or pay this fine, right? And then away they go. But then they don't do it. So now they got to go back to RECO. They never complied with the 1, 2, 3 of them never replied to early resolutions.
Rico's going to be busy this year.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another trust account. 2 guys, same thing, little company here. Same thing again. Another trust account. At least they didn't get rid of their licenses, though.
This one's
Like we did that one already. Did that one already. And what's this one here? Okay, this one here, $8,000 fine for having the wrong taxes on the property.
A lot.
So you might think, well, it's important, all these things we're doing, but picking up, if it's not legal, it's not legal.
okay. You just reminded me, I had someone call to complain. She said she's going to go to RECO. We'll see if she does. But the situation is, it was our listing, not holding offers, and we had sold that listing. And I guess this person had showed the property and she expressed some interest, but we weren't holding offers. So we had sold the home. And she called us yelling, you didn't send me a notification. I didn't get anything on Broker Bay. I had interest. I was going to offer on this property. I'm going to call RECO, like yelling. And I had to calmly ask her, say, well, was there an offer date on the property? Well, no. If there's no offer date on the property, you're not obligated to tell every single person that showed the property when you get an offer. We should strategically, but in this case, it was a unique deal and it was on the market forever. We were kind of shocked we even got an offer. But there's some things that people think are RECO things that are not too. It's interesting. We'll see if they actually get something in writing, but I don't think we will because we didn't do anything wrong.
Well, a lot of people there with understanding of
Yep.
that they even they have a misunderstanding about how many days of they have a 3-day cover review that starts at LinkedIn. But then it's a 2-day that review that starts is when they send it to their lawyers, not for when they receive it.
Yeah.
Yeah, day 1 starts when you get it.
Well, depending on how the clause is written. I've seen some other clauses that are written kind of unique. Oh, yeah. Yeah, lots of things. Okay. Anyone have any listings you want to talk about? Anything online? Do people comment? No. We have a holiday long weekend, civic long weekend.
No meeting
weekend?
next week.
No meeting
No,
Monday.
meeting next week.
No.
There's August long weekend this week.
It's called civic holiday. I actually have no idea what that means.
All I know is we get a day off. Well,
Not us, but we will not be here to do a meeting, but we'll be available. I'm sure the office is open 10 to 4 as well. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, have a great week.
Good.
Take
See you
care.
all.